First bowl is crispy pork sauce katsudon. It's different from the katsudon with eggs, but with a special scrumptious sauce. So enjoy! Cabbage is the most compatible topping for this type of katsudon. I'm not good at cutting cabbage into small pieces. As long as it's somewhat thin, it's fine. Make cut in the pork like this. As I'm sure many of you already know, but this step is a must because if you don't cut into the meat will shrink when fried in oil. Sprinkle salt and pepper on both sides of the pork. Sometimes I sprinkle too much salt and pepper on it and it becomes too salty, but I think this is about right. Today's batter is made with only egg and flour. For a pork loin of this size, this amount of butter should be enough for about 3 pieces. Mix until there are no lumps. Then dip the meat into the butter. It's easier to get panko if you put on as much as possible. If there are areas where the panko do not stick properly, add more butter with chopsticks or spoon and reapply the panko. This is where the important sauce creation begins. The main ingredient is Bulldog Worcestershire sauce. It's not tonkatsu sauce but Worcestershire sauce. Hope you can get this one. Put 50 ml of this to the bowl. Add ketchup, mirin, sake, and sugar. Mix well. Put it in a fry pan and bring it to a boil. Alcohol is removed and umami is concentrated. This process should be completed before frying the cutlet. Then let's fry the pork. Fry for 3 minutes on each side. By the way, I'm using white sesame oil as usual. I always fry them over medium heat for about 3 minutes to get this golden brown color. Be careful not to fry them too hot or they will burn only on the outside before the 3 minutes are up. If you have any questions about oil temperature or frying methods for making cutlet, please let me know in the comment. When the cutlet is ready, dip them in the sauce you just made. I made the sauce for a small number of people, so it's too shallow to soak in properly, so I'll pour it over the top later as well. Cut into bite-sized pieces. Place cabbage on top of rice first, and put the cutlet on top. I couldn't get it to soak properly earlier, so I'm going to pour a lot of it on. Serve with pickled daikon. It's beautiful in the color of cherry blossoms. My husband was quite impressed with the delicious katsudon with this sauce. I hope you will try it too. Next one is fluffy egg and beef bowl. This is also super easy and satisfying bowl. Adding onions makes it sweeter and very tasty. Prepare a frying pan or pot. Put sake, mirin, soy sauce, sugar, and grated ginger. If you use fresh ginger, I suggest cutting it into very thin stripes. Use a little more sake than other ingredients to tenderize the meat. Mix well and turn up the heat. Add onions and beef. Once it comes to a boil, turn down the heat. Fry the beef so that it absorbs the flavors well. It's like a beef bowl gyudon, but it's a shorter cooking method than that. I would like to introduce a recipe for gyudon next time. The essential ingredient that makes this bowl special is the egg. No special seasonings are added today. Oil the pan. Make semi-cooked scrambled egg. You should prepare the rice in the bowl before you start cooking the eggs. Place this fluffy egg on top of the rice before they harden. Place the meat on top. Edamame is wonderful because it adds a nice color and adds a nice crunch. Next one is juicy pork kimchi bowl. Kimchi and pork is my favorite and best combination. Have you ever had it? I'll show you the seasonings that make this even better. Let's add onion this time too. Fry onions in a little sesame oil until somewhat softened. Add pork cut into bite-sized pieces. Thinly sliced meat is the standard for this dish in Japan, but any shape will do. Sprinkle a little salt and pepper on the pork before seasoning the whole thing. When pork is almost cooked, add the kimchi. Season them here. Add mirin, soy sauce, sake, sugar, and dashi powder. If you have mentoyu, just add it and a little sugar. My husband and I love the sweet and spicy taste, so we add mirin and sugar, but if you want to make it very spicy, you can reduce the amount of those or add chili peppers. Stir fry for a few minutes. And when the pork has soaked up some of the flavor, it's done. Place on top of rice. Put minced green onion as you like. We also love egg yolk as topping. Fried egg is also good, of course. Next one is salmon and avocado addictive bowl. Here is a new way to enjoy salmon. First, cut lemon to make lemon juice later. Also, I want to make small slices for something. Cut the avocado into cubes. I always get a little nervous when cutting avocados because you don't know if it's a good one or a bad one until you cut it. Most of the time it's not a problem. Recently I've been able to select only good one. This one has a lot of black streaks, which is a bit disappointing. This sometimes happens when I avoid avocados that are too young and try to get mature ones. I still need to improve my selection skills. Anyway, I still want to enjoy avocado with this salmon because those are both expensive ingredients. Once the salmon is cut into bite-sized pieces, all that remains is to make the sauce. Squeeze the lemon. Add soy sauce. Sesame oil. Miso paste. Sugar, chili pepper, and white sesame seeds. Mix well. This sauce is an addictive and delicious all-purpose sauce. It can also be used as a dressing. When the ingredients are well coated with this sauce, it's ready to serve. Put as much as you like on top of rice. Put a small slice of lemon on top. Make it even better with green onions and additional sesame seeds. Next one is best mapo tofu bowl. This is the easiest and most delicious way to make mapo tofu at home. First, mince green onion and diced tofu. I use momen tofu, which is harder than silken tofu. It's better to use firm tofu because it does not fall apart when stir-fried. Put sesame oil in a pan. Add ginger paste and garlic paste. In fact, it tastes better with fresh garlic and ginger. Add green onion here. Stir fry for 1 to 2 minutes. Then add ground meat. This is a combination of pork and beef. Any type of ground meat is fine. It's not completely cured and it's still hard, but don't worry. Add chicken stock powder, dobenjen, sake, mirin, sugar, soy sauce, and miso paste. Mix seasonings well and fry until meat is cooked. Add tofu. Mix gently until the tofu is warm. Mix gently with spatula to prevent the tofu from falling apart. After tasting, I wanted to make it a little spicier, so I added some ryu. It's also sweet and spicy in flavor, so if you like spicy food, increase the amount of dobenjen or add plenty of ryu. Finally, add potato starch dissolved in water to thicken. If you thicken it, it goes well with rice, but if you don't have potato starch or it's too much trouble to put it in, you can skip it. After adding potato starch, please heat on high heat for 1 to 2 minutes. This is originally a Chinese dish, but this is a very rich and delicious Japanese version that Japanese people love to eat. Please give it a try. It was great with the addition of green onions and ryu. The last one is chicken katsu bowl, chicken katsudon. I've featured this recipe on my channel before, but if you haven't seen it yet, I'm reintroducing it because it's must-try bowl. The chicken cutlet is made first in the same way as the pork cutlet. Sprinkle salt and pepper. Chicken side with the skin on, or the best for making cutlet, I think. Mix egg and flour to make batter. By the way, this katsudon is very easy to make without fail because the way I cook egg. Even beginners will be able to try it out easily. The chicken was quite large, so I added more panko. It is indeed too big, so I will cut it down a little. About 120 grams of chicken would be fine. You can use several bite-sized pieces of chicken too. Fry the chicken cutlet a little longer because it's thicker than the pork cutlet I introduced earlier. It takes about 4 minutes per side. Let cool slightly before cutting. Next, the egg part is made. Put water, soy sauce, mirin, sake, sugar, and dashi powder. Mix lightly, add onions and cook. Cook until the onions are softened. And at the same time, the liquid is reduced slightly. While it's simmering, prepare the eggs. Beat one whole egg normally and keep the yolk separate for the second egg. Mix the whites as if you were cutting them a little. Save about 2 tablespoons of the sauce for later use. If the eggs take too long to prepare, the cooking liquid will be lost. so it's best to reduce the heat to low halfway through. When the eggs are ready, bring the sauce to a boil again and pour in the eggs. Cook until desired consistency. If you turn off the heat and leave it on, it will harden quickly. If you prefer semi-cooked, transfer immediately to a plate or bowl. Pour a little of the sauce over the rice and place an egg on top. Boil down the sauce you just saved a little. It's a small quantity, so just let it boil for a little while and you're good to go. Place cutlet on top of egg and put egg yolk too. Pour the sauce over the top and it's ready to serve. The eggs, of course, are delicious even if both are beaten and boiled. Eat the way you like.